We sailed for the first time on Symphony of the Seas from New Jersey, despite all the warnings of this port and the itinerary. Hello everyone, it's me Josh. Welcome to the channel. And don't forget, you can join us in Hawaii next year on our 5th group cruise. We're going to be sailing with Norwegian around the Hawaiian Islands for 7 days, so you can fill out the form down in the description below and join us and have a fantastic time. Taylor's family invited us to come along for a 7-night adventure that would stop at Port Canaveral, Nassau Bahamas, and Royal Caribbean's private island Perfect Day at CocoCay. We have sailed on Royal Caribbean numerous times, and we really enjoy Royal Caribbean as a brand. It's great for families with dozens of activities that are, for the most part, included in the base price of your cruise, aside from things like maybe the escape room or private lessons for the flow rider. Now, to be clear and honest, this is not an itinerary that we would have ever chosen to sail just for ourselves as a couple. But it was time for a family vacation. And towards the end of this video, we'll discuss a little bit of maybe who this cruise is actually for. Now, this itinerary is one of the most popular out of New Jersey. And each year, Royal Caribbean has no issue whatsoever filling the ship. There are actually people in our Facebook group for Royal Caribbean's sailing that were offered money to rebook for a future sailing with Royal Caribbean. It's real, it happened. Now, it's not an itinerary that many people fly from around the country to do. Most of these passengers are in the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. And if you're thinking about trying this itinerary, hopefully, it will help answer some of the questions and prepare you for the sailing itself. But before you book your next cruise, make sure you visit Goldgell Getaways, our travel partner for planning your next vacation. You can also work one-on-one with Taylor. All you have to do is send her an email, or you can fill out her form in the description below. For the cruise, parking for Embarkation was a nightmare. There was little communication or guidance with port staff, and they didn't really have much to go with, and I don't want to dwell on that too much. But what I think is also really important is to remember what your scheduled port arrival time is. All too often people confuse this with the boarding time, and they are not the same. So if your port arrival time is at 11 o'clock and you arrive at 9:30, you're doing it wrong. This isn't a Royal Caribbean thing or any other cruise line thing. This is a people not understanding. So just remember that a port arrival time is when you should be parking at the port. They're trying to make it well known, everybody. No marijuana or CBD product. Aaron's excited. He hasn't taken a vacation in years. So they do have some seating over here in case it does, in case they do get delayed and they get people in here. But I guess for the most part, they don't seem to be really using this all that much. Essentially, once the ship is ready, they're just letting people get right onto the ship. So that's what we're doing.
So that was nice.
Spray? Hold on, let me get it for me. Spray this way.
Thank you.
Wait, right here, guys.
Yeah, look like you're excited to get on the ship.
Oh, we're getting on it.
That was super quick though.
Yeah, it was absolutely fast, yeah. But still, Hello.
Welcome aboard.
Hello, thank you. Now, once we stepped foot onto the ship and checked in at our muster station, we went and began to explore. And this is something that we do every single time, is go and explore the ships to see where stuff is at. And Symphony is a beautiful ship and features many of the same amenities that you would find on the other Oasis class ships. The ship was packed, and that is, pretty normal for embarkation day, at least until the rooms are ready, and then people kind of disperse. Hello, we already have one of the packages.
All right, what's your cabin number, sir?
7405.
Joshua and Taylor?
Correct.
Take 2.
2? All right.
Never stop you guys.
We're getting off at 6, though.
Davis, you can.
Oh my gosh. Chelsea, come up first.
Miserable family.
Dad, you gotta get in their backpack.
Everybody turn around and look.
I think it's 15.
Hurry.
Good, we're looking for A1, the muster station. Thank you. So if the ship's going down,
We're gonna die.
you run through here and you just grab as many products as you can. Throw them into a bag.
Hi,
Hello.
can I check in?
Yep.
Perfect. A1 or A2?
A1.
A1. Perfect. You're going to check in with lovely Sheila. I love the CocoCay hat, so you're all ready
Thank
to
you.
go.
There it is, Solarium Bistro. All this time I've been finding without Now we made our way to the flow riders. Jossie who is Taylor's youngest sister, and not our child, as many crew members thought. She was, but she wasn't. I'd recommend signing up the very first day if you're planning to do the flow rider. It's a long process, and you can't do the wave machines unless you've actually signed that waiver. So make sure you do it right away if you're interested in doing that. We then made our way to the kids clubs so that we could sign Jossie up for the kids clubs. And now these were her words and not mine, but she said it was kind of boring. So, take it for what it's worth. Now, I think it would be a good investment to find some way that the staff could communicate with parents, because they have no way to do that, to contact parents, except for calling their stateroom when it comes to, kids at the kids clubs. Compared to something like on Disney, they can actually contact the parents directly through the app. They don't do that on Royal Caribbean. And that would be a really great thing to see changed for future passengers. All right, so we've made it into our room. This is an inside stateroom. Here's the door. I'm going to stand right here at the door and spin. That's what you get. This is, like Taylor said, this is our first time ever being on an inside stateroom on Royal Caribbean.
We've done Disney twice inside.
Yes, we've done Disney twice inside. And so, yeah, we kind of figured we'd give it a try on Royal. This is a great way to save a little bit of money, is to stay in a stateroom like this. Obviously, you don't have as many amenities. You actually have the same amenities, but the one major amenity that you're missing is a window and sunlight. So this is literally like sleeping in a closet, right? There's no windows anywhere in here. So it's just kind of something that you have to mentally prepare yourself for. Layout is a little bit different than an ocean view balcony, which is what we're used to. Either side of the bed, we've got some closets space here that always comes with hangers. You never need to bring your own hangers. There's also a little shelf thing right there where you can, hang additional things up, like, pants or other shirts, if for some reason you would use up all that space. We also have, as always, space underneath the bed.
Which is super important in an interior room where you have less space.
Yeah, so that'll be really important when our bags get here so that we can actually put our bags underneath as well. We've got a small little couch area here. This does not, to my knowledge, pull out, but maybe it does. Doesn't come with this backpack. That's fine. Then we also still have another shelving area over here, a shelving area, chest of drawers. We've got our folder with some information, breakfast stuff mostly. Our little things that we can hang on the door to get breakfast. I don't think I'm going to be doing that because I don't have a window or anything to look out into. And the rest of these drawers should just be empty for you to put clothes into, so I'll probably put a few things in there. We have a fridge. I'm not really sure I don't think you necessarily need to have a fridge on a cruise ship, but it is there. Then we also have a little hair dryer. This comes in the room, so you don't need to bring your own. And then we've got the desk area. So once we get kind of situated here, all of my laptop and everything, charging stuff will go on this desk. We've got a little TV next to the bed, which these can actually be separated if you wanted to have two separated beds. And then we've got the bathroom over here, and that's the last thing to actually take a look at here. So shower's actually still a pretty decent size.
I think it's the same size.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the same size as other rooms on the ship. Toilet, sink, yeah. And one thing I don't think that we ever really talk about, but if you are worried about hair care, body care, whatever, you probably want to bring your own stuff because this is what is always in. It's just one thing.
It smells good though. Hair,
Body, wash. It's all just double duty. There it is. It's all in one. So bring your own stuff. Yeah, so it is, the overall setting of the ship is pretty nice. We're going to head back upstairs to where Taylor's family's at, check out their room, continue on with our embarkation day. So let's go. This is Taylor's sister's room. So they've got a Central Park view. So you can see out, but nobody should be able to see in. So they've got just regular bed. Their room definitely feels larger than ours.
This is considered an interior view.
Right. I think though one of the biggest differences is this right here. So this is kind of new. On most other ships, this would all be connected together where the desk is at and this chest of drawers, and there'd be other space above it for shelves and stuff you could hang things on. So that's very different. This is a little bit more, I would say, like modern-esque. And then they still have a pull-out couch, and the bathroom's back there. It's going to look the same as ours. We got changed and made our way back to the Flow Riders. Jossie really wanted to give this a try, and I actually really love it. It's a lot of fun and really great. So it's actually the first time I think I've done the Flow Rider on Embarkation Day as well. Now, this cruise overall was great, and we did have a really good time. The Symphony is a beautiful ship that both couples and families will certainly love. And throughout the cruise, we did the Flow Rider, we did the rock wall, zip lining, the abyss slide, and even went ice skating. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time on Royal Caribbean, and every time I do, we just never get to do it. We sign up and then maybe we end up doing something else, but today we are officially going ice skating on a cruise ship, which is pretty cool. And luckily the ship's not rocking back and forth, which would make it a lot more difficult. So. We're going to be taking Jossie with us, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm going to try it too, and then, because do it too for me, please. I'm going to try
And 11, please.
Thank you.
11, please. Perfect, thank you. I got you.
Okay, I think I'm good now. Chris! Stand up.
We're going to step away from the wall a little bit, okay?
Oh my.
All right, look.
I like that.
You all right?
Yep.
Okay. Just go slow. Going very smoothly. Well, we just got to go ice skating a little bit, which was fun. It's very crowded out there. It's not very good ice to like skate on, so if you're a first-time skater, it's going to be very, very difficult. And also the shoes are not very good either. So still, it's kind of nice though. You can say that you got to cruise, you got to ice skate on a cruise ship, which is pretty cool. And while we would certainly sail on the Symphony of the Seas again, what we wouldn't do is this itinerary. And I said this, that it's us, because cruising is different for everyone. Our ideal cruise itinerary is seeing new and exciting destinations. We like to get off the ship and explore the city and the culture. And typically, if we do a cruise from the US, it's going to be into the Caribbean. A lot of people love this itinerary, but let me explain why we didn't. Our first port of call was Port Canaveral, which is a great embarkation port. You can also go and visit NASA Space Center. You can head over to the beach. It's really not that far away, but you will need to take a Lyft or an Uber to get there. Many people do also take advantage of the transportation provided by the cruise line to the theme parks. But we don't normally advise you do this just because you're not really going to get a lot of time versus the money you're going to pay for a single day ticket. And on most cruises, when you arrive to a port of call, it's typically in the morning. On average, probably about 9 a.m., which means you can still eat breakfast on the cruise and then go off and maybe have lunch or a snack in port until you get back and then have dinner later on the ship. Typically, the ship will almost always empty out and you'll have it to yourself, if you choose to stay on board, of course. Our good friends, Chris and his wife, Sarah, love staying on the ship and having it to themselves. They go and they play cards or they just relax in some of the lounges. Now for this itinerary though, we didn't arrive until early afternoon, which means that the ship in the morning is packed, specifically at the pool and even in the solarium, the adult-only area. And by the time the ship actually docked, and a few people did start to get off, there really weren't all that many activities that were available to do on the ship. Now, if you're on a budget, you are more than likely probably going to be wanting to eat most of your meals on the ship, which also takes away from being able to go out and explore the port in the evenings because you're going to be missing dinner. So the ship never really emptied out because many people just didn't get off. And this same situation occurred at Nassau. We didn't arrive again until early afternoon, and most of the people typically stay on board, especially when a ship docks in Nassau. There's just isn't really a lot to offer people as far as port excursions go. So in our opinion, it did kind of make it a little challenging sometimes to enjoy some of the amenities on the ship with few people around. This particular sailing, I think, is more about staying on the ship and trying to enjoy all the amenities that come with it, rather than getting off the ship for more adventures to get out and explore. And I mean, that really kind of makes sense with the ports that it's stopping at. There is nothing wrong with that, of course. Most of Taylor's family didn't actually get off the ship until we got to CocoCay. They spent probably 80% of their time at the pool trying to relax and soak up the sun and just have a really great time. And while this specific cruise wasn't for me and Taylor, who is it for? Well, we kind of already talked about this, but it's a great option if you live roughly 4 or 5 hours from New Jersey. It makes it for a relatively easy drive. You can experience the warmth of the Bahamas without having to fly to Florida to board a ship, and that right there is going to save you thousands of dollars on airfare. It's a great option to level up a beach trip that many people take every year, because remember, on a cruise, you don't actually have to do any cooking or cleaning. It's all taken care of for you. And if you're looking for a vacation that's all-inclusive with lots of pool time and warm weather and a stop at one of the best private islands in the Bahamas, this is definitely a cruise for you. And as I said, Royal Caribbean has no issue filling this ship. It is selling out every single season. And when we got to CocoCay, we did take advantage of an over-the-water cabana rental, and you can check that out in another video that we've already posted. But that did also help us to avoid some of the crowds because there were 2 big Oasis-class ships at CocoCay when we were there. So with all that being said, we want to hear from you about this video and the itinerary. Have you sailed with Royal Caribbean before? And if you have questions or comments, make sure to leave them down below. We love getting to learn more about all of you out there and the way that you like to do things. Oh, I do want to bring this up. A comment from our last video on the Alaska cruise and whether it's worth it or not. Somebody asked, do you think first-time visitors to Alaska would be better off taking a cruise or going by land with an occasional boat day excursion? And in my opinion, if you're a first-timer, excited to see Alaska, then maybe try a cruise first. You'll get to see multiple stops, and you'll only need to unpack your bags just once. Plus, it's basically all-inclusive. Land tours can vary greatly in what's included. So make sure that you like and subscribe for more travel content, and thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you in the next one.